And this time, we want to take you to the Volta region, because apart from the Volta region, we have part of the eastern region as well, connecting the Akosombo Dam. I always want to say the Volta, but it's on the Volta Lake. So what has happened is that the Volta River Authority, based on the water level that is being recorded in the Akosombo Dam, decided to spill water, and those communities in the downstream have been affected. It goes round through the many areas of the Volta estuary, and then subsequently many of the communities close to all those banks. So we have Akosombo right through many of those areas, Mefe, and then even if you get close to Sugakope, the Sugakope bridge, which usually on a normal day, if you were on that bridge, you wouldn't have seen the water up, now has the water almost close to beneath the bridge. That's how serious as it is. Now, what you're seeing on the screen are houses that have been inundated. We've been talking about this consistently over the last couple of days, but it's also because many of these residents and communities are reeling from this difficulty. What could we have done better? And then also, what especially needs to have been done by the National Disaster Management Organization. For those of you who tend to live along the banks of the Volta Lake, please tell us what your experiences have been. So this morning, we're opening the phone lines for you. Share your experiences also. That is, if you're an observer, not close to the action itself, about the responses of, ideally, the National Disaster Management Organization, as well as the state generally, about the plight of these residents in the catchment areas that have been affected by this spillage, and also the type of relief ideally that should have gone to them. So that'll be for this morning's segment. Then, of course, Johnny Hughes, the great Johnny Hughes, will be coming in with Johnny's Bite. And, of course, we'll do the big issues this morning. And Ato Essien was one of the lead founders and the founder, as well as chief executive initial of the defunct Capital Bank. According to what they call the Boulders Advisors report, and also due to regulatory monitoring and supervision that had been undertaken by the Bank of Ghana, we ultimately saw the collapse, or, well, that ultimately has to be, of many of these local banks a couple of years ago. That's at the beginning of this administration. Now, we know that Ato Essien has now been jailed 15 years. The question we want to deal with this morning, Ato Essien being jailed 15 years, is that now a testimony by the Bank of Ghana based on this decision that collapsing these banks were the right things to do? Now, what also would happen to the other directors or shareholders who perhaps have also been caught in this whole web of not undertaking their fiduciary responsibilities for the banks either they set up or were part of? So we'll be taking a look at that. And then we'll talk about the relief efforts for the victims who have been affected by the spillage. So that'll be the last segment of this morning. And then, of course, we'll have an entertainment conversation this morning. Bella Mundi will be looking at the Musicians Union of Ghana. They've now had a new team of executives after their recent election. So Bessa Simons is leading Musica as president. And we also want to know if this batch of executives are the right people to lead the bank going forward. So make sure you join us on our streams as well. We'll be happy for you to join us. We already have a caller on the line, and it's all about those communities in the catchment areas following the spillage and what needs to be done for them. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from Tema.
Okay, you're calling from Tema. Please, what are your experiences, but also your observations about the spillage, how it's affecting the communities as well?
I think we are not doing enough because this dam, every year we have opened this dam. So as a country, what do we have to do? And all the challenges go to NADMO because every year we speak the same thing. And there's nothing has been done about those things. And even those communities along the coast,
okay,
at least we have to get community centers for this area so that if such things happen, they could be move the people to those areas so that there shouldn't be any problem. So every year we have the same problem. Now, no, talk and talk. They will say they don't have this, they don't have this, they don't have this. I think it's not fair to those people along the coast.
It's a worrying situation. So again, the phone lines are on. We have a couple of you also joining us on our stream. We're grateful. And many of you raising concerns about the current help that is being given to many of these communities. And you're saying that it is not enough. I have this one from Bwedijima, who says that if you take a look at what the rhetoric has been by the National Disaster Management Organization, they could have done better for these communities. And you're saying that the alarm bells, even though the community engagement were undertaken, should have been sounding way long before now. Good morning to you. We have a caller on the line. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Roland. My name is Abdulmanan Tinga from Wa.
Okay.
Yes. I think Ghana, we have not been doing well when it comes to some of these disaster issues. When I listened to the CEO or the managing director for the Akosombo Dam, what he was talking, he's saying that they are still to split more of the water.
Yes.
And already how it has affected people. Like, you are not saying anything to even console the people. You are even telling them that you are still going to open more. So since you know that you are going to open more, what engagement did you have with the community before you open the water? So it's like you just sit down as one person and take a decision. But the decision you are taking has affected so many lives. But there are some of the people that houses have collapsed. What are they going to do after even the water has moved away, or where would they stay? So sometimes the decisions we take, it really hurts other people in the future.
All right. Let me also say that I did have an engagement with some officials of the Volta River Authority, and apparently each year they undertake what they call community sensitization or engagement with the communities, but they haven't spilled this volume of water for a very long time, in excess of over 10 etc. years. Even the last time they spilled water, it was not of this magnitude. So the residents in many of these communities perhaps haven't been very much aware. But at the same time, also, there could be a justification to blame maybe one side of the engaging parties, that perhaps maybe the alarm bells were not comprehensive enough. We'll see how that goes. But please, the phone lines are open. Talk to us, especially for those of you who have relatives or you reside in these communities, but more so you're associated and observing this on the sidelines. What do you make of, ideally, the state's response to these victims following the spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam to communities downstream? And we have to insist, if you know Akosombo Dam where it is, it's in the Isujamain constituency, all right? And if you look at where we have the channels, the estuary, or perhaps even the banks, and it's right affecting communities like Sugakopo, etc., you have to be worried. We have another caller on the line. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning. Please speak loudly for us so that we can have a deep conversation. Please, what's your observation so far?
Yeah, please. My name is Andy. I'm calling from Bokwe.
Okay, Andy from Bokwe. Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. I wanted to ask, have they gone to the villages to just educate them or ask them that this is what they wanted to do? Because this thing happens each and every year, and there is nothing proper or conversation have been done to the community. It's really disturbing.
Okay. We'll have officials of the VRA on the line. We'll ask them. But from the indications I got from speaking to some officials, of course, they have not been mandated to officially speak for the VRA, but those who are on the ground, they said they do these annually. And this year, of course, those sort of engagements were done. Whether it was comprehensive enough is a question all of us need to ask ourselves. And now the communities have been inundated. You could see that a whole community or even towns have water up to the roof of buildings. And if you know a normal building and the height of that building for water to get to the roof speaks to how excessive and problematic this is. If the water is also not spilled from the dam, it affects the integrity of the dam. So it leads to some level of distraction. And the best advice is to do this. So please, the phone lines are open. Let us know what you think, especially the state's response to many of these problems that the residents who have been affected following the spillage from the Akosombo Dam are going through. Good morning to you. Where are you calling from? What's your name? Good morning. Hello, good morning.
I'm calling from Sunyani.
Sunyani, okay, please. What's your own observation so far since you've been watching the reports and digesting them?
My problem is with the Lands Commission.
Okay.
And the planning unit of our various district assemblies.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go to elsewhere like UK,
mm-hmm.
about 20 or 40% of their land are used for building. But when you come to Ghana, look at how the lands have been used for building. You see, so as a nation, we don't have a plan for these things, and it is affecting us a lot.
Mm.
Now, when you go, look at when you build, whenever there is rain, look at the water that will, the roof will collect.
Mm.
And we don't have channel, and we have built anyhow. We don't have places where you can build and where you cannot build. Even the sewage areas have been attend to buildings, even including churches.
Mm.
So how do you expect? Can you block water? And sometimes our leaders, they are also part of it. These VRE people, these those who open the dam, they are part of it. So we always tell like we are ostriches. We don't want to tell the truth. This is the problem. We have think up most of our lands are turned to houses. When you go to, they go to outside there. They see how they build.
Mm.
They sell the top tend to be a building plot. So the government has to initiate a policy where we will not allow people to be building anyhow. And we have to demarcate places that are not feasible for building. Sewages are turned to buildings. I mean, I don't know how we think. People will start thinking like TV3. Because if you are not creative, the mind, the head was created for you to think and initiate something. But here in Ghana, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We like, hey, let's go here. And this Nagmo people, I don't want to hear them. It is their daily ritual. They will just come and stand at the wall. Whatever happens, oh, we are leaving. Can you do, you call it Kruwaba.
Okay.
Kruwaba saves somebody when you are submerged by water. Look at the resources. So you too, when you are going for a plot to build, look at the place. Look at the resources that you have wasted. Today, these Akosombo Dam people cannot solve any problem for you, but you have wasted your resources. So when we individual, we are going for a land to build, we should also check if it is in the sewage matter. Take your land. I won't take it. The chiefs should be careful. The way they demarcate. When you come to Sunyani used to be the cleanest city in the whole of Africa and Ghana. Today, what do we see? We are being engulfed by these sanitation issues.
Even in Sunyani?
We don't think. That is the problem of Africa and Ghana.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for this comment from Sunyani. And it's good that we emphasize this. As well as the discussion I had with the official from the VRA, he did say that there's an extensive education that is done about not building also close to the banks. But we also have to say that if you look at the extent of damage, it's not only those who have encroached on the banks of the river or the lake that have been affected. Okay, so we have those who are in the main communities who have been affected as well. So it's not only for those who are along the banks. But we'll be having this comprehensively as a discussion on big issues, and that'll be our last part of those discussions. After we've looked at the banking sector restructuring or collapse, following the jailing of Atuasian, of Capital Bank, and then what it means generally for all those directors, as well as we're talking about shareholders of those banks who play some instrumental role, according to the Bank of Ghana, based on its supervisory or monitoring reports.